welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading channel. Today, it's not going to be a real interesting video, but stuff we got to do. Our garlic is ready to harvest, so we're going to go over and do a little bit of that here. But this is how you tell when most of the leaves on them and stuff are turning brown. That shows you that they're ready to harvest. So anyway, we'll get that done, and once we get these out, we'll come back and get them laid out on our drying sheet area there. And then after that, we're gonna go out and mow the lawn with our 50-plus-year-old lawnmower, a 2-cycle one, which we really like. Been a great thing to have. Bought it for 12 bucks out of a junkyard years and years ago. Been cutting great ever since. And we got a few other little projects for later in the video. I'm doing some upgrades on some saws and stuff. So let's start with the garlic. Okay, well, we're out here ready to harvest these. Here again, you can see the leaves are all turning brown. When you have about 50% or more of them on each plant, that's time to harvest them. We planted these in late November, and actually came on earlier this year than they did last year. But anyway, we grew a whole lot less this year because last year we had such a bumper crop. We're still using them, so but it's always nice to have the fresh stuff. But the soil here is a little rocky and hard to get these out of here, so these aren't real big ones this year, but every year is a little different. We try different varieties, both soft neck and hard neck. There's one that's got a bigger top on it. It's kind of odd how it came out there. There's a nice one there. Nice and healthy looking. Well, anyway, we'll continue getting these out of here and be back in a bit. Okay, well, we got a pretty good crop for being a small area. Area we used in our raised bed was only about 2 feet or maybe a little bit wider and about 10 feet long, and we get this really nice harvest. They're all different sizes. Got quite a few bigger ones like this, and some smaller ones too. It's just odd how some grow better than others, and another small one there. But yeah, these are really nice. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put them on our drying rack and let them sit for about a week, and then we'll come back with a soft brush, wipe the dirt off them, and then we'll trim the roots off so they dry better. So anyway, we'll be back when we get that done. Well, our second chore for the day here is to mow the front lawn. Going to be using our 19-inch lawn boy from the early 70s. So the first thing we're going to do, lube the wheels. This hasn't been run since last fall. You can see it's a little wobbly there. Takes a little oil to work itself in there. Well, when I put these away, I fill the gas tank completely full so that it doesn't get condensation in it. And to turn the fuel on, which I've done. Most lawnmowers, when they sit, will get a little condensation of water in the carburetor. This has a drain valve on it, so I can just reach under there and Get a little fuel on it and stuff. If there's any water in there, it'll come right out. Now this does not have a choke, it just has a primer bulb. This primer bulb's getting a little atrophied. I do have some new ones saved up, but when it cracks and fails I'll replace it. So we'll take a little extra priming to get it to go. Turn on the ignition switch. Put this probably about 10 times. Put your foot right here. Well, you can see it does a nice quick job. Well, we'll be back when we're almost finished.
Go ahead.
see, the old lawn boy here did a really excellent job of cutting the lawn again. It's really nice to use these old mowers. They just do such a nice job, better than the new ones. That staggered front wheel design really makes a difference. Makes the lawn nice and smooth, even though the ground is fairly rough underneath it. And you know, this one is an economy model, 19-inch. Doesn't have any real deluxe features, not self-propelled or anything like that, but you can see how easy it starts, usually on one pole, sometimes a maximum of 2. Bet your new lawnmower doesn't start that good. Anyway, we'll talk more about some of the other stuff coming up in our upcoming videos here. Our next video is going to be about trains. We rode to Amtrak to Nevada and went to a vintage train museum, so hopefully you'll like the train stuff. Then, after that, we're going to be working on the saws again here. The little Frontier here, we've got it running. You go back and watch a couple of our older videos. And it needs a couple of things. It needs a new clutch drum, which I found. Cute little toy there, huh? And a new chain. This chain still cuts good, but there's less than 1/4 of an inch of tooth left. It's had a lot of use. It's also a skip tooth, which is kind of interesting, so we'll see what the new chain does, and then we'll do some time cuts with it to see how it performs against cutting with this. And then our Mr. Woodcarp here got a new non-safety chain for it. And safety chains, you know, I guess they have their use for people that don't know anything about saws, but this thing, the rakers here, the safety rakers are so high compared to the cutting teeth. When you do a side cut in hardwood, it makes the chain come off. So anyway, I don't usually use those. Cuts pretty good, even though it's a safety chain, but that's because the teeth are new. I mean, the chain's brand new. So the things we've done for it, we've got a new gas cap, so that'll take care of the venting problem. And the carburetors I had, both of them needed work, and I found a place that had carburetor kits, and I used the number right off the carburetors to get the kits, and they're not correct. They have some parts that work and others that don't, but I dug through my box of treasure junk and found some diaphragms and gaskets that may work. So if that works out, we'll finish up testing this. So we'll put the new chain on, do some time cuts, and several people commented about modifying the mufflers. So the muffler on this is a lot better than the Wild Thing. The Wild Thing was a lousy design. You can go back and watch our older videos on that and see what I did to make it work. This one, I'll go ahead and finish the mods on it if the carburetor works out, and then I'll do some mods on the muffler and do some time cuts and see how much difference it makes. And then, once we're done with that, we'll go out and do some tree work with them. And then after that, we're going to get out some real chainsaws and get some big wood cut. So remember, vintage is best. We'll see you on the next video.